Tick-tock, Donald Trump's dark past continues to surface, and he is in panic mode. 2 more weeks, Donald, and by law, the Epstein files need to be released. But we know you're going to try to block it. We know what you're going to do. Donald Trump's dark past continues to surface, and even right-wing podcasters sympathetic to Donald Trump are saying, look, this guy's engaged in war crimes off the coast of Venezuela to try to distract from his dark past, distract from the release of the Epstein files, distract from his ghoulish connections to other men involved in these pedo rings. Marjorie Taylor Greene just called Donald Trump out with a great deal of clarity, and she described how Donald Trump called her furiously, berating her before they had a falling out. She wanted to release the files, and she thought Donald Trump was going to want to release them too. But Donald Trump said, "Don't you dare, Marjorie. You're going to hurt people. You're going to cause pain and suffering to people," to which he meant his rich and powerful male friends whose names are mentioned in the Epstein files, and to himself, as MAGA Mike Johnson's been parroting Donald Trump's line that they're fearful that the release of the Epstein files will create a new class of victims. That's what they're referring to, the powerful men involved in this child sex trafficking ring. So Marjorie Taylor Greene calling Donald Trump out. But you see, here at the MeidasTouch Network, we are not going to let up with our coverage. A reminder, make sure you subscribe to the MeidasTouch YouTube channel. You see, we're on our way to 6 million subscribers, but the Trump regime, state regime media known as Fox, and Trump's MAGA sycophants want us silenced. They want to destroy us. They've lobbed death threats our way, Trump's MAGA followers. So please, you may think that you're subscribed, but you may not actually be subscribed. So please make sure you hit the subscribe button now. A lot of attention is rightfully spent talking about Donald Trump's connections with Epstein, but there's also Donald Trump's connections with other rich, powerful men who are involved in these child sex trafficking rings. For example, John Casablancas. That name sound familiar? John Casablancas died in like 2013, but he was accused of sexually assaulting children, impregnating children, marrying children, raping children. He is the worst of the worst scum of the earth. He died in 2013, and he ran Elite Model Management, and who also was the CEO of Elite Model Management, a close friend of Donald Trump. A guy by the name of Gerald Marie. He was one of the most powerful men in fashion, and he ran Elite and other major agencies, and he hung out with people like Donald Trump and Casablancas. And that 1991 Look of the Year annual international modeling contest in New York that Trump was a part of, you had Gerald Marie, you had John Casablancas, you had Donald Trump, the crew. Epstein was there as well, but these were the friends. This was the crew. They were all friends with each other. And listen to how it was described. In 1991, the couple were among the celebrity guests at the final Look of the Year, Elite's annual modeling contest. And then it talks about how you had, while Marie sat with fellow judges, Casablancas and Donald Trump in the audience, he was, this girl said, he wanted to control me completely. And she accused Gerald Marie of sexual assault. I'm going to show you some of that footage that the MeidasTouch dug up then. But here's a story that doesn't get enough attention right now. Have you even heard this one where a 17-year-old girl naked at a Trump party in 2008 advertising Trump vodka naked underage, and then Trump blamed her and said she was just seeking attention. Do you know this one? Because this one really hasn't been reported in a long time, but our researchers dug it up and said, Ben, remind people of this one. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Trump flaunts teen girl for vodka party back in 2008. Donald Trump and his vodka line could be in hot water after pic surfaced of a 17-year-old girl naked except for body paint. serving drinks at the 944 magazine Super Bowl party for the vodka. Here you see her driver's license. You'll see that at the time she was 17 years old. Those photos were obtained by a website called thedirty.com. The underage girl's name was Chanel Elaine Hallett, and she was seen working as a hostess, totally nude except for a little paint, but otherwise completely nude. Her 18th birthday was in a few weeks from then. Then Donald Trump responded to that, and Trump said that she was seeking, given the circumstances, we could only guess that she crashed the event to seek publicity for herself. We know that Donald Trump lies about everything. Could we talk about that 1991 Look of the Year competition with Casablancas, with Gerald Marie? I mean, sickos. Epstein, Donald Trump. Just take a look at the images of the underage girls. The elite model management said it was girls 14 to 29. But when The Guardian did their investigation, they found the ages were really 14 to 19, the oldest being 19, but most of them being 14, 15-year-old girls. You see, they're little girls, right? And these are the types of girls that Casablancas preyed on. This is what Casablancas did. Take a look right here at some of the underage girls. Look right here. You see them in this photo. These are what the underage girls looked like when they were doing the beauty pageant in front of Donald Trump. I mean, again, you see the Look of the Year on their pink shirts. These were girls. These were little girls. And Donald Trump, as an adult male, like at that time, what was he, in his late 40s or 50s, would look at these little girls, look up and down their bodies, and rate them, and then have after parties with them. What do you think he was doing at the after parties? What do you think was going down at the after parties? Seriously, because we know what John Casablancas would do. John Casablancas was known to give these young girls drugs and to have cocaine-fueled after parties. That's what Casablancas would do. That was his MO. Disgusting, disgusting individual right there. So you put it all together, and now let's take a look at the footage that MeidasTouch previously unearthed. This is Donald Trump judging that 1991 Look of the Year competition, the elite model management that Casablancas ran. And you'll see the judges, Casablancas, Gerald Marie. Watch Donald Trump here play this clip.
The 58 contestants participated in an exhaustive round of personal interviews designed to help our judges discover what makes each one special.
Your 5-9 reading? Serious, huh?
We made measure again tonight before the game.
Okay. Thank you very much, Amy.
The concentration was intense inside the judging room.
What if they don't like you as you are?
And out.
I'm just so excited.
Each girl was considered not only for her beauty and poise, but also for her personality and that indefinable
something extra that makes a top model.
Okay, you want to pull your hair back 1 second? Okay. All right. Thank you very much, Ingrid. Good luck for tonight.
Thank you.
When it came time to choose the 21 finalists, emotions ran high as each judge expressed his or her opinion.
Now, Trump is seen speaking in footage from the 1991 Look of the Year. You'll see him, he's by the yacht. That's going to be important in a moment. Let me explain why, but let me play for you Trump by the yacht. Here, play this clip.
The Look of the Year contest is the ultimate contest for women that want to go all the way in the modeling business.
Featuring 58 of the world's most beautiful young women, competing for more than $700,000 in prizes.
Wow.
And the chance of a dream come true, a career as one of modeling's superstars. We'll take you behind the scenes and onto the runway. You see the fun, feel the excitement. You'll pick your favorite, along with our panel of expert and celebrity judges. Enjoy front row VIP seating at our gala evening. One of these contestants will be selected as the Girl with the Look of the Year.
Okay, and then there's one more video I want to share with you there of Donald Trump by the yacht. And this is from the video that MeidasTouch uncovered. Despite the long day, the girls then partied. Donald Trump was at this party. Here, play this clip.
Aboard the Spirit of New York, the ever-present paparazzi took advantage of the numerous photo opportunities, and everyone was entranced by the views. Despite the long day behind them and the work that lay ahead, the girls just didn't want to quit.
Concentrate.
Okay, let's go through this Guardian article that describes what went down. Teen models, powerful men, and private dinners when Trump hosted Look of the Year. On September 1st, 1991, a large private yacht, what you just saw, cruised towards the Statue of Liberty. It was a clear, breezy evening, and from the upper deck of the Spirit of New York, a golden sunset could be seen glinting off the Manhattan skyline. Downstairs, a party was in flow. Scores of teenage girls in evening dresses and miniskirts, some as young as 14, danced under disco lights. It could have been a high school prom were it not for the crowd of older men that surrounded him. As the evening wore on, some of the men, many old enough to be the girls' fathers or even grandfathers, joined them on the dance floor, pressing themselves against the girls. One balding man in a suit wrapped his arms around two young models, girls, little girls, leering into a film camera that was documenting the evening. Can you get some beautiful women around me, please? The party aboard the Spirit of New York was one of several events that Donald Trump, then 45, attended with a group of 58 aspiring little girls. They had traveled from around the world to compete in the elite Look of the Year. Trump was closely involved in Casablanca's competition. In 1991, he was the headline sponsor, throwing open the Plaza, his lavish chateau-style hotel overlooking Central Park, transforming it into the main venue accommodating these little girls. In 1992, Trump hosted the competition again. On a similarly golden evening in early September that year, another group of contendants boarded the Spirit of New York, chartered for another elite cruise. One of the girls on the boat was Shauna Lee, then a 14-year-old girl from a small town outside of Toronto. She recalls how the contestants were encouraged to parade downstairs one by one and dance for Trump, Casablancas and others. The little girls dancing for Trump. Lee, an introverted teenager who loved to draw but hated school, was in New York for this first time. A woman at the agency was pushing me, she recalls. I said to her, I don't see why me going down the stairs and dancing in front of Donald Trump has to do anything with me becoming a model. And then the woman said, no, you look great. Just take off your blazer and go and dance in front of him. So I walked down the stairs. I didn't dance. I blew a kiss at them, spun around and walked away. Another contestant who was 15 years old at the time also remembers being asked to walk for Trump and Casablancas and other men aboard the boat in 1992. I knew in my gut it wasn't right. This wasn't being judged or part of the competition. It was for their entertainment. Okay? An undisputed fact. Undisputed, okay? That little girls would show up at New York and be forced to dance in front of Donald Trump, barely wearing any clothing. That's what he was doing at the age of 45 years old to 46 years old. Now, if you don't think that's disqualifying, then I don't know what you think is disqualifying or not. Okay? So now I want to share with you what some of these right-wing podcasters are saying. This is Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon says, look, you know this is all a distraction. The bombings on Venezuela, the war crimes from the Epstein files. This guy's a right-wing podcaster. Here, play this clip.
Yes, it's a war crime. It's whatever. It's what we do. It's December. It's the holidays. No, this is what we're going to do. There's a decision made to just start bombing. We need to start, but something's got to get bombed. I mean, truly. When the Epstein stuff's going down and all this stuff is going down, someone up there goes, we need to start bombing someone like now. We need to pivot people's attention from the economy and the pedophile ring we're covering up to Venezuela. Let's start blowing up boats. Who cares? They're narco terrorists. Great. We'll blow them up. And it'll pivot. And even this is good. Even this like war crime thing is good because what this allows is everyone can fight about this. It's just, I've lived through this forever. I'm sorry that I don't feel any way about it. I mean, you can't, day in and day out, you can't consume this stuff and still care. There's no way to do it at 40. You'd have to be so crazy. You'd have to be so crazy at 40 to still have an emotional investment in that. It's just what it is. We're just blowing up. But this is what happens here. Have you not lived here? Are you new? Are you 5? We're blowing stuff up.
And here he is again. Play this clip.
And they're not talking about Epstein. And they're not talking about whatever the hell else is in these documents that may or may not come out, redacted or unredacted. And they're not talking as much about the economy. And they're not asking to have health care. And they're not asking what Palantir's doing. And they're not asking why 5 tech guys in AI control half the American economy in San Francisco. They're not asking any of that. They're just watching a boat blow up in the middle of the ocean. And good kudos. Good job. You know your audience, and this is exactly what had to be done. This is exactly what had to be done.
Now, one of the other things that's going on for this cover-up, Ghislaine Maxwell says that she's invoking her Fifth Amendment rights against self-incrimination, and that's why she won't testify before Congress anymore, the way she gave statements to Donald Trump's FBI. Okay? So here is what we know now, that she's apparently either fired her lawyer, David Oscar Marcus, or he's not hired for her habeas petition to try to overturn the conviction in federal court because the Supreme Court rejected her appeal. So she is now filing it on herself all alone. And she's going to use that as a pretext to object so that she doesn't testify before Congress the way she spoke to Donald Trump's personal lawyer, Todd Blanche, and gave the statements which we know are totally false. So think about that. David Oscar Marcus walked her into the cover-up, but he's not going to be representing her now there. She's going to be using that not to testify before Congress. Do you see what's happening here? Do you see what's happening before our eyes? Tell me what you think. Hit subscribe. Let's get to 6 million. Thanks for watching.
Love this video? Support independent media and unlock exclusive content, ad-free videos, and custom emojis by becoming a paid member of our YouTube channel today. You can also gift memberships to others. Let's keep growing together.